Hello and welcome to tutorial. Today we are going to talk about Publitio and plugin for WordPress media offloading. Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial. Today we are going to talk about Publitio's new plugin called WordPress Offloading plugin for Publitio. The idea of Publitio's plugin is to allow you easy way to offload your media content from WordPress websites into Publitio's cloud storage network and to optimize those images or videos and to deliver them via our global CDN network. Now, first thing that we need to do, we need to go into our WordPress and we need to search for Publitio Offloading. You can also search instead of Publitio Offloading just Publitio, and you will see two plugins in here. And today we're going to talk about Publitio's offloading plugin that fully integrates inside of media library. Now let's click install and install plugin so we can continue working. Okay, now we need to activate the plugin. Okay, so now when we have installed the plugin, we are going to set it up. So you can go by clicking on settings button or by selecting it in the left menu bar. In order for Publitio Offloading plugin to work, you will need to create an account on Publitio and you will need to copy paste API and API secret key. Now if I go into my dashboard, in here I can find my API and my API secret key. So for the API key, I'm going to click copy and I'm going to paste it in here. And for API secret key, I'm going to copy it and paste it in here. And I'm going to click save API keys. Now just one reminder, please make sure that you keep API secret key hidden from others. Because if they have access to both of these keys, they can list your files, list files from your account and start using your storage and bandwidth. I'm using a test account, so this account will be deleted after this video anyway. So when I go into the plugin, there are multiple things that we need to set up in here. But I will focus first on upload folder. The upload folder is the place where you want to upload all your media files, and by default it's going to be selected on a root folder, but I would advise you to create a new folder called your website and use that folder in order to store the data. So when I go into my media files, I will see this is my WP website. What additionally I can do, maybe somebody needs to do this, but you can create an additional folder called, for example, my media files, and then click create. And you can select also the subfolder. In order to see the subfolder, you will need to refresh the page, and then you will see my website / my media files. Now this is going to be the main folder where all the files are going to be stored, and all the links will be pointing media.public.io /file / this name of the folder / my subfolder / file name. Okay, so when we have set this up, we have a second thing that is very important if you want to use your custom CNAME. Custom CNAME can be created inside of your settings page. You can browse here, but this is the custom CNAME place. Publitio by default allows you to generate multiple CNAMEs, and if you need to create one, you can click add new. Add new. For unique ID, I would suggest that you give the name my website's CNAME. So enter the name of your website CNAME, and that will be unique. And for the subdomain or the actual URL that you want to display, it's going to be, for example, media.yourwebsite.com, or you can change this to be, for example, like files, VP, or media, whatever you want to use in order to generate this. Now, if I would click create a CNAME, Publitio will generate it in here. You will need to go through this tutorial in order to set it up on your end, and we will issue HTTPS SSL certificate, so all the content will be securely protected via offloading plugin. Now, in here, if I had additional CNAMEs, I would see additional CNAME in here. By the default is my media public.io, which I'm going to keep. And these two are the most important things that you need to set up, because they are going to reflect on everything on your website. Now, we have a few additional fields that we have skipped. So there is allow users to download media files, which in simple terms allows people to right-click and get their direct link to image or video. I will be showing this feature later through the posts. And we have option to select which files we want to offload. By default, all the files are going to be enabled. So if you upload images, videos, audio, and PDF files to your WordPress, they will automatically be offloaded to Publitio. But for example, if you don't want to offload your documents, they're sensitive, and you don't want them to be stored on other third-party service, you can disable that for the document. Now, we have already set up folder and CNAME, but what we didn't set up is image quality. By default, Publitio optimizes all uploaded images to 80% quality. It's mostly lossless, and we would advise you to use this 80 as default, but you can set, for example, 100 if you want to display an original file that you have uploaded, or you can go down up to 50%, which will reduce the image size, but also the image quality. I will be showing later in this tutorial exactly how this affects your images when you upload them. We need also to set the video quality of uploaded videos that you want to stream. By default, it's going to be 480p, but most websites today use 1080p, and I'm going to select 1080. Now, when we go down here, if you have installed the plugin on existing website and you haven't done any offloading so far, you have option to sync all the files from your website into the Publitio. Now, by clicking Sync Now, you're going to push all the media files that already exist on your website to Publitio's folder, and all the media content is automatically going to be replaced. Since I wanted to demonstrate this upload process, I have clicked Sync button, and I had 3,173 images in my media folder, and it took me about an hour to upload them all to Publitio, and you can see how the process looks like. So please be patient, do not leave the page, just wait in here, and the upload is going to happen. Now, this upload can be very fast or very slow. It also depends on your server configuration, how strong is the hosting that you are using right now. So if you're on a shared hosting, this might take longer time. Also, there is a possibility of error saying something went wrong. This can happen if PHP script that is being run on your server has some limits or timeouts. So make sure that you're patient with this. And one thing to note, all the files will anyway automatically be pushed to Publitio when they are first time opened on any blog post or page. So syncing all the content maybe can even be skipped. You don't have to use it, but we have added it as an option for users to use it. And last but not least, the most important things inside of WordPress Offload Media is the last part of the website, which is focused on deleting the content. Now, I have to say first, please do not touch these features if you don't know what you're doing. by enabling delete options and clicking delete all offloaded media, you may delete all the files from your WordPress. So if you haven't tested these features already on a test website, please first make a backup before you even come to them, okay? So the first button, delete files from Publitio when media is deleted permanently. This is the feature that will delete files that you have uploaded to Publitio if you delete them inside of your media file, okay? So if you go into your media folder and you decide to delete, for example, this image, then the file will also be deleted on Publitio. So in order to test this, I'm going to search this image. Let's see the file name. Files. I'm going to try to search for this file. Okay, now as you can see, we have this file on Publitio. Okay, now if I go back into the WordPress and I'm going to go into the settings and I'm going to enable this feature. Okay, now when I go into media, I open this file and I click delete permanently. Okay, so that file has now been deleted. And what should have happened is if I refresh this page, it's gonna say this file does not exist. Okay, so the file was deleted also on Publitio when I have deleted it inside my media library. This feature is good if you want to have sync between your WordPress and Publitio's infrastructure. So this is the only button that we do advise you to use because it makes sense if you don't want to have too many images or other media files on Publitio without any need. Now, when we go into delete all files from media library, once they are uploaded to Publitio, this is very sensitive feature. It means that you're going to delete original files from your website hosting. So if you click this and enable it, all the files, all 3000 media files that you can see in here, original files are going to be deleted and you're going to be fully independent on the Publitio's serving. Now, do not enable this feature unless you have tested it fully on a test server or before you have made a backup of your WordPress. We do not support on this matter. It's up to you. Many users have requested this feature, but they are maybe advanced and you maybe are not. So please make sure not to touch this if you don't know what's going to happen. The same thing goes with delete all offloaded media. It's going to delete all the files that have already been uploaded to Publitio. So please do not use these two features if you are not 100% secure what they are going to do to your website. We won't be responsible for this. It's up to you, so please be careful. I have noted multiple times about this feature, so please be careful what you are doing. So I have disabled delete Publitio media after deletion because I don't want to use it. I want to have both copies on both servers. For example, maybe my website will at some point crash and I want to have backup files on Publitio just as a security. So these were basic steps that you need to go through to set up the plugin, and now you can start using it. In the next few minutes of the video, I'm going to continue showing you how Publitio fully integrates inside of WordPress, and I will be recording additional videos for each specific plugin, for example, Elementor, Divi Builder, WooCommerce, and some other plugins that are very popular and that you have requested explanation how to use them with Publitio. Okay, now let's see how Publitio plugin works. Now, Publitio plugins fully integrates inside of WordPress's media library. So all the files uploaded in here are going to be uploaded to Publitio, either if you click the sync button or if you use them through the blog posts. Basically, every single time when you create a blog post, all those images are going to be pushed to Publitio. So let's create a test post and see how things happen. Now, if I go back into my Publitio's dashboard and I search for the file that we have deleted, you will see that that file does not exist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the same image that we deleted, and the flow of usage of the WordPress does not change. So Publitio fully integrates into user flow of the WordPress. It only detects that media files have been added and then uploads them to Publitio. So let's select this file and let's click open. So as you can see, now we are uploading this file to our media library. Now we are going to check if this file was uploaded to Publitio right now. So let me refresh this page and let's see if this file does exist on Publitio. Now, as you can see, it does. So it means that as soon as the file was uploaded to your media library, it was automatically synced also to Publitio. So there is no need to do any additional changes. Now, if I go into the versions of the file, I'll probably have only the thumbnail. Go down here. So this is probably the thumbnail image. Yeah. So this is the thumbnail image of the file. Now let's go back into the blog post and let's click Save Draft and let's click Preview. Now the first time when you click a preview, we are going to generate a specific size of the image that it was needed for this blog post. So when I click Copy Image Location, now I know that you don't see my interactions because I'm using OBS screen recorder and it does not show the pop-up panels. But you can see that now we have a new image that has width 950, cropping set to fit, and quality 80. Now this quality 80 is exactly what we have been talking about for the image optimization, and this image was optimized to quality 80 right now. And now if I go back into my file and I refresh it and I go down here, you're going to see that now we have additional version of the file. Let me see, just a second. Okay, so this is the new file that we have generated. It does not have quality in here, we add it as a link. Okay, so our original file was 133 kilobytes and optimized version is now 87. So this is the image that we see on our blog post. Now adding quality Q80 is not needed as by default we convert that file to 80%. So with Q80 and without Q80, it's the same thing. Okay, it's default version. So let me go back to the blog post and now you can see this link. So as we discussed before, now if I go into Publitio Offloading and I want to change all my images on the website to have, for example, 50% quality, and I go back to the blog post, let me open this one. And as you know, this was quality 80, but now when I refresh the page, the thing that happened right now, Publitio has taken the original image and it has generated quality 50. So as you can see now in the link, we have Q50, which means this image is now 50% optimized. And if I go in here and I refresh, now we should see image with a Q50 tag. Let me go down here and here it is. So this image is now 34 kilobytes. So it reduced the image size from 130 to 34 kilobytes. Now the question is if this quality is high enough for your case. So this is the quality 50 and this is the quality 80. But on ordinary eye, you won't see the difference, but there is a small blur out, but that's it. So if you can see quality 50 and quality 80, there is almost no changes. But the change is huge when we look at the image size and the optimization that has been done by Publitio. So this is basically what Publitio does. It takes the image, it uploads it, and it optimizes it. So for this tutorial, I will conclude it, and I would invite you to install our plugin, play with it, and find the benefit in it for your website. So as I said, I will be recording additional tutorials for specific page builders, and please check out our blog post as they will be posted there. All the best.